So today is Friday, June the 7th, 2024. We are on a little bit of a road trip headed to Kentucky. Now, why are we headed to Kentucky? I have a friend that watched the video that I did about the boostauto mirrors that I installed on the truck. And in that video, there was a clip of the M1 Lumasteps. And we were talking, and he said, man, I think those would look good on my old Dodge. Well, after we got off phone, I shot a message to boostauto and asked them would they be interested in sponsoring us those steps for a 2020 Dodge cabin chassis. And they said that they would, and here we are, we're on our way. Now, this video, I'm really excited about it because the gentleman who we're putting these steps on for, he is just an exceptional person. He has helped so many people since I've known him, and he's one of those kinds of guys who are always there for people who are close to him, and always ready to help, whether it's finding out information or whatever it may be. If there's some way or another he can help, he's always out helping other people. Now, I feel very blessed to have made my way into his little circle of friends, because everybody in that little circle are just phenomenal people, just really, really good guys. So this is awesome that Boost sponsored this video to allow me to do something nice back for him after all that he does for everybody else. So Mr. Wayne, if you're watching this, I'm on the way. I will see you in the morning. Next time you guys see me, I'll be introducing Wayne, and I will be unboxing these steps, getting ready to bolt them on the 2020 cabin chassis, crew cab. So this is my buddy with Wayne's Ram 3500 2020. It is a cabin chassis truck. And I have already got down here and started breaking the bolts loose just to make sure we wasn't going to have any break off or anything like that. And then we kind of started opening the boxes up a little bit. So these are my buddies Wayne and Frankie, and we are going to check this out, see what's in here, and hopefully step up Mr. Wayne's game. So in a little box here, this is your bracketry. So they've got it all packaged up really nice. If you'll notice, this one has a green wrapper on it. This is driver's side. This is a passenger side. This one has a clear wrapper on it. You notice how he just pulled the bracket out and it has a clear wrapper? That means it'll go with the passenger side. And the green one will go with the driver's side. So that is something else that boostauto does to kind of help label it. But grab that for me there. So here's your new brackets for your steps. And they're really nice powder coated brackets. And I'm going to compare the brackets whenever I get some of the old ones off and show you, but these are thicker and just heavier looking than the other brackets. So it also has the cosmetic pieces that goes on top of the brackets. And this is my first time installing a set of these Lumasteps, so I am pretty excited about this. I can't wait to see them on the truck. Sorry if there's some noise in the background, but I think there's some hardware in here too we was looking at earlier. Right here. So I'll show you how these brackets right here go in on the Dodge. It's pretty common. I don't know if that's what other vehicles use. My Chevrolet's got a different style altogether. But it comes with plenty of new bolts and washers, which is a good thing, because a couple of those were, I was worried they were going to break, but they actually all did come out. Got some push pins. I got a theory on where those goes, but unfortunately I didn't read the directions. We just figured it out as we go. So anyway, now the money. Mr. Frankie, will you grab the lid on that box? And we'll set that to the side. And here are the M1 Lumasteps. When we open the box, when I put the box in my truck, I was really worried that they were going to be too long for the truck, because they are long. But this is your wiring harness. This is the plug and play wiring harness. There's a hot in the ground that goes to the battery. I'm pretty sure there is a crossover wire that goes from one side of the truck to the other. And this is for the other side. And that may be the crossover right there that runs from one step to the other. And that one's got your hot and your ground. And then this one is your plug and play stuff, where you can plug right into your factory turn signals and all that. And your rock light. That's for the rock light option. Anyway, that's about everything in here. Another thing they sent is boat juice cleaning solution. This is to clean the pads that are on the step, because they've got big thick foam pads, and we'll show you all that when we get them installed on the truck. But the next thing, let's finish getting these old steps off. So taking this step off, there's going to be 3 brackets with 2 bolts like this in each bracket on the outside. Those are 10 millimeters. I do highly recommend a 6-point 10 millimeter socket. Now once you get those off, I've already got those out. I got these out. I left these in to show, just to show you. That's what they look like from the factory. And then we come around here. We're not going to unbolt these on the bottom of the step. Back out a little bit. We're not going to unbolt these from the bottom of the step, but these are 13 millimeter. There's 1 nut, 1 bolt. Now once these come out, they send us new ones to go back in here, so that's a big plus to boostauto, not having to reuse the old hardware. And all of them are loose. I did go ahead and get them all loosened up just to make sure I wasn't going to break any taking them off, because I thought I had to reuse the old hardware. So a 10 millimeter wrench on one side and a 10 millimeter 6-point socket on the other. These bolts come out, 2 13 millimeters. These come out. When you take the last ones out, I'll leave 1 in the front, 1 in the back, one in the back right here, 1 in the front way up there so it doesn't fall on me. And then I'll have one of these other guys assist me in taking that last nut off and setting them out front of the truck. There's the nut. And then, like I say, I left that bolt in, so I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew this, take the bolt the rest of the way out. That way I can set this off. Well, I still have to get these 2. My 10 millimeter wrench and 10 millimeter 6-point socket. Getting really good at this one-handed stuff. Here's your last 2. It'll be all right. There's 1 bolt. There. Now it's off. I'm gonna slide it right off that stud, miss that wire in the harness. Lay it right down on the ground. I'm gonna highly recommend a magnetic pickup tool just like this here with the end swivels if you do this job, because I dropped that bracket right down in there and I took this dude, went right in like that, grabbed it and fished it right back out. It wasn't, I mean, both of them just came right out. I dropped 2 and Mr. Wayne got the last one and he pulled it right out by hand. He's just a little more experienced with this stuff than I am, I reckon, but I'll try to get a little better when we actually fish them back through. So looking at it, that front bracket on the passenger side turns this way. The next 2 will face that way, and there'll be 2 10 millimeter bolts and nuts right here and 2 13s right here. One will be a bolt, one will be a nut. Then that bracket that goes across behind it right there. So we just sitting here looking, and like I said, we should have read the directions, but we, you know, just part of the fun of figuring it out though. PC, we're figuring, stands for passenger center, and A would be the driver's side, B would be the passenger side. So here's a B, and here is also a B. Now something else I want to show you. Grab this bracket here and get back over to the step. I like the look of this bracket a whole lot better, and one of the main reasons I like it so much better, look where this is bolted together. And this is one piece of welded. I like that a lot better. I think it's going to be a lot stronger than the factory steps. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and start bolting the brackets on, and I'll show that as we go. I may get the bolts loosely started, and then that way we can fit the step on and tighten everything up all at one time. But you don't ever want to put a bracket on and tighten it all the way down, because if you do and it's a little bit off, you can't move it. Wait until you get it completely, all the brackets on where they need to be, and they're all loose where you can still wiggle them. Get the step on, then tighten everything up. So this is a little easier said than done. You have to fish that thing over through there. It's time consuming and it's aggravating, but it is doable. And then once you got the bolt still in here, And this goes through, you put this little clear tab on it, it holds it in place. So now you pull the bolt out. Pull the bolt out, and then you'll let this piece fall until the nut, until it lines up where you can put the bolt back in that hole. Right, like something like that. Yep, right there. So put the bracket up here. Right like that. And then there is a flat washer and a lot washer and the nut that goes on, then put the bolt back in. I'm gonna get that started and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You don't put the nut on this side yet because you're gonna need to twist that back and forth to line this bolt hole up. Once you get the bolt started, run it in loosely, then when you start, then we can put the nut on. And make sure it's all tightened up tight enough it's nothing's gonna fall off, but leave it loose. That way you can still move it around. Alright, on the back side, there's a flat piece. There's two. One has two oval holes in it, and one has one. This is the one that has one. Nut, washer, and then the flat bracket goes on the back side. And the Allen head bolt with a supplied Allen head wrench. And we'll go ahead and snug this up too. But like I said, I'm not tightening anything until we get the step on. This one is the very front. We're gonna go right in that hole and right down like this, and you pretty much got to get the whole bracket down in the hole, and then turn it and pull it through. Let it sit just like that for a second. And then we'll put this plastic tab right here on. Now you could push it up on the threads, but I prefer to spin it on because you want it to hold tight when it actually pulls up against the frame. That's why it holds everything in place while you're getting the rest of your hardware set up. The bolt is on. Then we got the flat washer, lot washer, and the bolt. Flat washer, lot washer, and the nut. As tight as I want to go with it. That way if I need to, I can still move this bracket around. We got all the brackets loosely on. That back one we kind of had to tighten it up a little bit, but the brackets are on, and now we're going to take and set the step up and make sure everything's still looking right. I think the plastic piece right here is going to be a lot easier to put on before than after. Comes with these little push pins, and I'll show you right here. All you do is line the holes up right like that. Get you a push pin, push through the hole, and then as it goes in, just go ahead and line another hole up before I get too carried away. But try to get them as far in the hole as you can right off the bat and push them in just like that. So there's that. So now we're putting our bolts in the steps, and you'll see there's a little cutout right here. Just slide those in and get them about where you think they need to be, and you'll have to line them up a little bit better as you go. And there's the control box for the wiring. Here's your 3 wiring harnesses that come with it, plus your 2 plug and play adapters to make the lights work on your new running boards. So this is a rock light option. I'll talk about that when we go to hook it up, but it's just 1 power wire, fuse power wire going to a toggle switch, coming back to 2 output wires. And those output wires go right here to that butt connector. So what we got here, this goes down and connects to the running board. And then as you come forward, you'll have this wire that goes to the battery. There's your hot and your ground. The one with the white connector right here, there's another one right here on the other side. So that one will run across at the firewall or wherever the easiest access point is, probably the firewall, to go from one side of the vehicle to the other. Now, this end out here, it connects right here to this plug. So that's where it's getting power to work your turn signals and your marker lights. And there's one of these for each side. So this one is, we're probably gonna use it for drivers. This one here will be passengers. So, and it doesn't matter that I know of which one goes where. And as you start running back, you'll have your crossover wire all the way back to the connections that go to the actual Lumastep. So I decided to move on to this harness here. Now, believe it or not, I have got that harness unplugged with the airbox in. If you don't mind to take the time to take the airbox out, it doesn't take long. It's not a pain in the butt, but I'm just impatient. And it's starting to sprinkle rain. Every single time I try to do a video, it sprinkles rain. This is for the rock light, and we need a wire going from right here around to right here. These are the auxiliary switches. If you have a RAM and you want to use your auxiliary switches, that's what this is for. So I ran our wire right across the front, and it runs right up that side over and ties to that upfitter switch. And here is our connection. I crimped this one in, made sure it was good and tight. And Mr. Wayne is underneath the truck, and he's going to try to plug us in from under the truck. If not, I do believe I can get it from the top, but it's going to be a pain in the butt. But there's his hand. You guys heard that click in? By the time it clicked in, we're just sitting here realizing I didn't plug the other harness in, but it's gettable from here. So there's the plug for the step. It comes, I went from the light, you can see my rat's nest right here. From the light, I went down behind the airbox, behind the battery box, and out and right down across the top of the inner fender. So we're talking the BA for boost auto. We're going to try to center it up with the door seam right here, and I've just set that on there. So I haven't tightened these bolts down yet, but we did take and zip tie these to the other side of this little cosmetic piece. These are 10mm as well. And we're not just torquing the far out of these. So this side here is absolutely done. It is completely done. And I think that looks awesome. Well, we are done. I hope the cars passing by out here didn't mess up the audio too bad today, guys. Go ahead, and that's that startup sequence. And then the full-way flashers, that's that sequential turn. And then the rock light feature, he's got it on his auxiliary switch, and it overpowers. You can see the mirror was still flashing a little bit, and it'll overpower the turn signals or the marker lights. But then when he turns the rock lights off, it'll go back to a sequential turn. I love them. He loves them. These things are awesome. We were kind of curious to see if the BA for boost auto was going to light up, and it doesn't, and the boost auto up here does it, but it looks really good. I think it just really looks good on this truck, and it's a whole lot better than trying to add the lights like what he had on these steps, which you can't see them, but the same as these right here. Yep. But keep up with the videos. I'll let you know how they go. They look more yellow in the video than they do in person. In person, they're bright amber. So I weigh 230. I ain't gonna ask them what they weigh, but I mean,
I 240. I'm 260.
230, 240, 260. So we finished up the Boost Auto M1 Lumasteps yesterday, and man, them things are awesome. And if you saw the before and after, that cleaned up the look of that truck so much. And following him around last night, them things look like torches on the road at night. They're just crazy. So There's that startup sequence. And even in the daytime, I mean, they stand out. That's what I told him. If you get hit in the side, it's because somebody definitely wasn't paying attention. It sure ain't because they didn't see you. Then the turn signal. And when you turn the rock lights on, it overrides the turn signal. So you could have your turn signal going like he does now, and still have your rock lights on. You can wire that rock light up to your cargo light. You can wire it up to your, he's got it on the upfitter switch in the dash, or you could wire it up to your interior light, so when you open the door they come on. And they put out the light too at night. And he's really happy with them. I'm really happy with them. The installation was as easy as it possibly could be. The only thing I'm gonna say about the installation on the other side where the def tank was, it was a bear getting to that middle bracket. So if you're installing them on a Dodge where the def tank is right by that middle bracket on the driver's side, it can be a little bit aggravating, but it's doable. They sent this boat juice. I had never heard of that before. And it's for cleaning the foam. Now, we tried it on this step where we were stepping on it yesterday and got the foam all dirty, got boot prints all over it. Clean, dried up. Big thanks to boostauto. And big thanks to you guys watching the videos. We're gonna go ahead and end this one now. I hope the noise didn't bother you too bad over where we installed it. It was just one of them things where there's normally not that much traffic on that road, but you can bet as soon as I hit record, the traffic's gonna come out of nowhere and it's gonna start raining. But anyway, thank you so much. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, boostauto, and I will see you in the next video. Wayne, what do you think about it?
Love it. Thanks, boostauto.